Warning, Dazz Radio is not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. 1K frequency is not intended to replace professional advice, and our views may not necessarily reflect those views of our featured guests.
Great to have you here with us. Welcome to 1K Frequency with your hosts, Dazzo, Skittlekicks, and Atlas.
What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to Dazz Radio and 1K Frequency on this very special Tuesday night. And today we also got Mr. Skittle up in the house. Mr. Skittles.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing, sir?
Actually looking up that program I was telling you about pre-show. It's a little ticker timer. It's called Muxy.
Oh, Muxy. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and that you can tie into OBS. There you go.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Yep. I still have it, but I literally looked at the date, and it's like from 2016. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit outdated. I was gonna look and see if there was a new version of it, but yeah, I don't know if I don't even know if it'll still work on modern, which I have not updated because it breaks too many times. I update.
Yeah, I know.
As if I really stream. I haven't streamed. I do miss streaming.
Oh my god. It's been a long time since
yeah,
we did this
are.
episode.
Yeah, we are back. Can you believe this, guys? We are actually live for a change. We're not recording.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, to let everybody know, we have been extremely busy over the past, what has it now been, like 6 months since our last show? At least, it feels like it. Probably, no, to be honest, I think it's longer.
Months.
8 months? Yeah, it's got to be longer than that because I remember I hadn't even gone back to Texas until June, and we hadn't even done a show before that. So,
yeah.
Wow.
8 months.
Been a while. 8 months. Yeah, I can math.
Man. It's good to
this
be
is
back.
Skittle math.
Skittles.
It is, absolutely. So, for anybody in the chat, I'm not watching the chat right now, so what's up, everybody in the chat? How y'all doing?
We got Ember Rose up in the
you
house. Phoenix.
Nice.
Let's see
What's
here.
up,
San
everybody?
Andreas DOT birthday Thomas Johnson. All up in the house.
What a name. That just trippingly rolls off the tongue.
We
Love
got
it.
Ethan Boudreau up in the house as well.
Nice.
So yeah, 16 likes already on the
everybody.
stream so far.
Nice.
Crazy.
Smash that like button, folks. Come on now. You know you want to.
So
Anyway.
what
What's
do you
been
wanna
going
kick off
on with you,
tonight?
man? Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of catching up and some small talk here.
Well, life, work, busy.
Okay. All right, good small talk. Great small talk.
Toxic went to play some 5MRP today.
That's fine.
It's
Yeah,
all
we didn't want to
good.
hear about it. We didn't want to hear about his G-string breaking again.
Yeah, that.
Yes, that was captured a long time ago. If you can find where that's at, you get an award.
Phoenix Bill Freeman.
Oh,
But
anyway,
yeah, welcome everybody to the stream.
Yeah, we've really been busy lately.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm actually glad that the power came back on because we had no power for like 3 hours this morning, and it was 7 below zero in my area, so it'd be very cold. But luckily, the house did not get too crazy. The house
Thank
got
God.
down to like. Oh, it went well. We had been running the temperature a little bit hotter than normal because my brother and his wife were here over the weekend.
Makes sense.
And so we increased the heat for her because she gets too cold too easy. And so we had forgotten to reset it once because usually we'll have it like into like the mid 60s or whatever, just to kind of keep the furnace from turning on and off, and because we're on propane, so you can go through that pretty
Yeah.
quick with the furnace. So we'd lost power about 6:30 this morning. But I was still in bed, and then I woke up, and I'm like, my fan was off because I usually have to have white noise in the background, so I have my fan on. I usually run that all night, and I woke up and it wasn't on. I'm like, well, what the heck? I looked down, my power strip was turned off. I'm like, oh, great, did something fall on it? No. Walked out, and everything was off, and I'm like, oh, that's great. So we have no power. It's 7 below, which means no furnace will fire up. However, we do have a wood stove at the other end of the house, so we could run that, burn wood, which is great because once that actually gets going, it's pretty. So at least on that end of the house, the other end of the house gets kind of cold. But it was only 69 degrees, and it only went down 1 degree in 3 hours, so that's not bad considering. It could have been a lot worse because we've had pipes burst in this place before,
Yeah.
and they were just fixed like a year and a half ago. So, so underneath the house, it was because this is a manufactured home. So underneath, there's no basement. So underneath the house, everything is insulated. But if the pipe bursts, what do you got?
Exactly.
Nothing. Water damage. So luckily, and it got to be 20 degrees underneath the house, which is enough to freeze the pipes. But luckily, we were good. And it was ironic because we had called the power company and said, hey, we don't know what happened. Well, we don't know why this happened. We know it was the fault underground. And it turned out that a power line the power lines up here are very old. So they're starting to fail. Wonderful. So power line failed, and it failed to a point where it actually blew out this underground unit. And they had to replace that. And then when they had to turn it back on, it backfed, and so it blew out a 20 amp fuse on the system. So they had to go back and fix that. No, and so they had to backfeed it back. They had to run it backwards so that we could actually get power. We don't even know if we're on stable power. I mean, I think we are, but it's been going since around 9 o'clock, 9:30 or so. But still,
yeah,
it's not good when especially in this time of year. And what's really sad is that this company's been around for decades, and yet they will not upgrade the damn power lines out here.
Right.
Like, how are you guys even in? Funny enough, when we called them a second time, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, we don't know when we're going to come back on." There was trucks started going around our neighborhood, and then finally, like after we hung up, like 2 minutes after we hung up, power came back on. Yeah,
that's a fluke.
Yeah, so that's one of those things. So power is kind of important, and we don't have a generator for backup either. Now I've got battery backups, but I don't even know the power was off for at least an hour before I got up. So my battery backup on my computer was pretty much dead, which tells me I'm probably going to replace the batteries because I do not remember what their power outage timer is. I don't know if it's 4 hours or 8 hours. I don't remember, but it's not lasting that long.
Yeah.
So regardless, I had no power, but we got it back. So yay. And that was
sorry,
just today.
I accidentally hit my PTT. My bad.
You're fine.
How you doing though, fellas?
Just hanging out, chilling, bringing back the podcast.
Yeah, I figured I'd just let you guys focus on the podcast. Let me handle security should the need come up.
Okay, that works.
We got a bouncer, folks. We have a bouncer. Don't piss him off.
Yeah, something like that.
Or he'll bounce your ass right out of chat.
Exactly.
But I'll monitor as needed, and you guys just focus on the talking to each other.
Yeah. Absolutely, that's what we do. That's what we're here for. We're here to be
pretty
entertainers.
much, yeah.
We're entertainers.
So I won't be talking very much, but if you need me, I'll be here.
Yeah, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, of course. If there's anything that piques your interest.
Okay. Well, you guys go back to it.
Cool. All right. So anyway, other than that, the only other thing that's really been going on with me is just a wee bit of an obsession with a particular video game. I am
Now, what game is
glad
that?
to say. Well, I don't know if I want to say because I don't want to create more addiction.
Oh no! Please,
This is no.
please.
This game has become crack to me. I'm not kidding you. That's scary. So, for the last couple of years, I've been looking for a really cool train simulator. What's out there?
Yeah.
I knew I did not want a Simcade, which is what Train Sim World is, where you have parts simulator and arcade,
Yeah.
which is points and you get all these like shiny stars or whatever. I don't give a crap about that. I want to just drive a train. So
Right.
I'd been following Railroads Online and Railroader for about a year and a half, and I found there was one. Oh, Run 8 was the other one. So the fourth one I found is what I actually purchased. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles sale on Steam back in December. Little game called Trains, and it's I think it's one of the longest running train simulator games. Not really a simulator. Considered it for like 20 years. It's actually 25 years. And so what that premise is it's sold as a model railroading game, which is pretty cool because I love world building. Hence my love for SimCity and City Skylines.
Mm-hmm.
The other aspect is I love trains. I've loved trains since I was a kid. And to be able to do both and then be able to drive in my world, I was like, hell yeah. And for a while, it took me a bit to understand like the mechanics of how to build, how to use Surveyor 2.0. And I know, Dazz, you picked up the game, but you haven't really played it. And
No.
I'm glad you haven't yet because my addiction is very bad. But I do remember I was starting to see like my hours put into it, and I'm like racking up hours left and right. I'm not kidding you. I've only had the game in September, but on New Year's at literally 6:34, I believe is what I said.
Yeah, six.
I had
6
cracked-
something in the morning.
Oh,
What you got
it was
in that
evening.
cup there, Dazzo?
Maple syrup.
There you go.
That sounds about right.
So so when I hit New Year's Eve, I hit exactly 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours. Crazy.
1,000 hours in just under 3 months.
That's
And-
addictive.
Yeah, because that when you math it out, I was averaging daily about 11 hours.
Yeah.
And the only breaks I would take is if I had to go to the bathroom or if I had to get some food. But otherwise, I was
TLB, what's going on?
I was learning it. I was getting pissed at it. I was getting really pissed at it. And a couple times, I almost gave up on the damn biggest regret of my life.
Really?
Even this last time, I actually, oh God, yeah. Because what happens is the game is not, how shall we say, not early access, but when your maps start to get really big, it starts to not, even though some people make these massive routes or whatever.
Okay.
The issue I was running into most likely was the assets I was using were probably too far outdated. And and a lot of times you run into polygon issues where if an asset is modeled that's very detailed, it's going to have a lot of polygons.
Right.
The problem with that is it makes the game chug. It's already a poor performer just at the core game because developers are using their own proprietary game machine or gaming engine. And I firmly believe that the game would perform a hell of a lot better if they switched over to Unreal 5. Because
Agreed.
I've seen that one in action, and in fact, why I say this is because there's a developer I've been watching on occasion who's building Starship Simulator, and he's using that version, and while for my computer it's kind of obviously sluggish because my computer's out, like my computer's. But even though I upgraded my graphics card, it's still a weak motherboard and CPU. But anyway, it's still looks stellar, and it's actually pretty good about what it does. You can walk around, run around, whatever. Trains is so not optimized.
It's not.
And it's not. And I don't like that, because it's as bad. And this game has had 20 years of existence. So how could it get worse every generation? People said it used to never be this bad years ago, but as the time has gone on, it's gotten worse and worse. So, well, maybe it's just my computer. No, it's everything. It's so many factors, and it is the speed trees, which I think are the ones that actually have growth cycles. So if you actually set your calendar to a certain time of year, you will literally not have leaves. If you put it to fall, you will have colored in the trees, like the oranges, the yellows, and the reds, which is really pretty. And in the summertime, you have all the green trees, which is pretty cool. It's really neat how that's like realistic. Unfortunately, I think that taxes my system. And again, an unoptimized game is going to really lag. So this really pissed me off. But then it was when the game crashed hard, and it was crashing a lot. And when it crashes, it corrupts the game. So there's two options when you corrupt. When it crashes out, you can either keep the changes or revert. I've learned to revert. If you don't, I use there are certain things I use that will break. Like you actually can see physical breakage in the thing. One is called TRC, which is for train crossings. And the stop bar, which is it's got like 2 yellow ends and then 3 or 4 or up to 7 red middle ends, and if they break, that means they don't work.
Right.
It would lose connection to the signals themselves, like the train crossing signals, like it would no longer register them, and it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh my god, and it was constantly happening, and it broke my game so much. I'm like, F this, I'm just done.
Yeah.
But the addiction is what got me. I even after this happened repeatedly, and I figured out what to do, how to fix it, it still drew me back in. I'll tell you something. This is a warning. This is a word of warning. Be careful, because there are, and I have an addictive personality. This is a warning. Please be careful, because it can be like this. And look, there was times. One of the times I was playing, I stayed up for 36 hours.
Damn.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the
That's
old
not healthy,
Minecraft
guys.
days, man.
Not even Minecraft was this bad for me. Now, look, I go back to my gaming days when I was on PlayStation. This is back in the 90s. I'll tell you that.
Dazzo, you want to talk about old days of Minecraft? I've played mobile since release. Since release.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, but not continuously, though. That's the thing. Like, this was continuous play. This was 36 hours of nonstop playing, except to make me take a leak and eat some food. But it was right back at it. That's the thing. And I played Minecraft for years too, but I never got hooked into it that deep.
Yeah.
And City Skylines got me a couple times, but never this much. SimCity, way back in the day, I would lose sleep, but not like this.
Right.
Even my other favorite game was what was it called? It's been re-released and it was updated.
Hey, I hate to do this to you fellas, but I actually got to sign off because just had something come up. But you know how it goes.
Always have something coming up.
That's what she said.
I'm a busy man.
Understand?
Yep.
All right.
Go for it.
See you later, man.
See you later, guys.
Later.
So anyway, the game was Final Fantasy VII. That was what I was thinking of. And I would literally look at the clock. I would look at the clock, and it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Had dinner. My girlfriend at the time went to bed. Okay, and she went to bed like 9. I look at the clock again, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. That's literally what games like that will do to me. Trains is no different. Now, however, I have switched it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Over Christmas, I was gifted by my dad. Was gifted a railroader, which is a very cool game if you like steam locomotives. This is not a builder game. This is the route is already built for you. And
so it's
in
almost like an
Railroader,
actual simulator.
it's a simulator. It's not a it's very simplistic controls for the most part. So it's not as complex, but the thing that makes it unique though is its logistics and operations. So
Okay.
you kind of run your railroad and then you deliver to the location. You open up sections as further along you progress. Like you have to. One of the earliest things you can do is rebuild one of the bridges to connect you to the town, and that's pretty cool. So you deliver the train cars to that location. You actually have to shove them, which means you have to push them from behind, because the end of line is literally just that. There's no turnaround, so you cannot do a run around the train cars. You have to push it inward, otherwise you will be stuck.
Okay.
And it's 3 phases, and I'm only on phase 1 right now. But anyway, that game has kind of been like my little like chill, like I want to do this, I'm still learning it. There's ways to do the game, and I've learned a couple tricks by a YouTuber, which would be kind of cool to get this guy on, get him on get him on the show sometime. His name is DH. Really cool cat. Got to admit, pretty cool cat. He's kind of a smaller channel. He's got just over 1,000 subscribers. But might be a fun dude to talk. And he does this game pretty regularly when he has time, where he actually runs he has a multiplayer server that he runs with a bunch of friends, and they actually do like the actual tasks and things like that, which is pretty cool. Like they have like he'll actually like run actual dispatch.
Okay.
And they'll actually have like that's one of the cool things they've added is you can actually dispatch in the game. Like you can actually run all the signals once you open up a certain location. You can open up the signals, and then you can actually direct the trains. Yeah. Oh, totally. And it's a fun game. It's fun, but I don't. And the multiplayer feels very much like ATS, where you host a server or you can join a server. I think I haven't tested it yet because I don't have anybody who's got the game right now. I've been trying to talk my brother into getting it, but he's working on getting shooters. So. He just got his permit. He just got his pistol permit actually from the Sheriff's office. Yeah, so he'll be able to do that because what that allows him to do is go through school zones without getting in trouble. So he can drive through because if you don't have that piece of paper, drive through a school zone, you can get into a lot of hot water. Even though it's constitutional carry, and that's they still have stupid laws in the books. But anyway, so he's working on that right. And but I showed him both games, and he thought they were pretty cool, because he like me as kids, we loved model railroads, and we always wanted to like when I was a kid, I wanted to build a model railroad, always did. I wanted to make a really awesome like 3-level like you see the professionals do, and I just never got around to doing it. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Over Christmas, I also got I got Hitman, Violent Assassin, and Blood Money. My fiance, that was pretty awesome. It was games that were on my list, but I wasn't really because I played them already, and I think I beat all. I first played the first game on PlayStation. Might have been that I bought the trilogy later on for PS2, and then my brother's friend stole them, so I never got those back. So I don't have a PS2.
That happens.
Oh, so annoying. And I remember,
oh look, it's a shitty Atlas. It was widely appearing in chat.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? So anyway, but yeah, that was my experience with that over Christmas. And otherwise, the only thing I did was go to Texas back in June, which was wonderful. It was great to see my fiance again, and we hung out, did some hanging out, ran to a couple places. We didn't get to do everything that we wanted to do, but I do want to go back there soon because, well, one, I've got to clear out my storage locker because they just jacked the price up again. And two, a brand new arcade that's 80s themed called Time Rift Arcade. I want to go there. There's a YouTuber that actually he and his brother bought a facility to build an arcade, and you've got everything from classic arcade games that are fully restored. Apple gaming, like Apple IIs from way back in the day, so you can go back and play Oregon Trail if you want to. They've got the Commodore 64. They've got several other games. These are like all sit down ones. They have a couple. They only have enough space for one cocktail game, which I believe is the Pac. I think it's the sit down Pac-Man one. I think I could be wrong because they had to swap them out every so often. But yeah, it was really really awesome to watch that problem. And then the other thing I got from her was Arkansas, or which sadly, and she kind of almost regrets buying it for me. Like, you did give up playing that game.
Yeah.
Not really. I was burning out. And how do I burn out from a game I've only put 500 hours into and have over 1,300 hours now in trains? How the hell does that work? I don't know. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking by it.
I play too much trains.
I'll be honest. As soon as we're done with the show, I'm probably gonna go right back into playing it tonight.
Oh God.
And log more hours. I mean, that's the sickness of this game. That is the sickness. I mean, it's so funny when I said I had like 400 hours, 500 hours. Oh yeah, I've got like 1,000 hours. I'm like, yeah, guys, you may be saying that, but you did not continue to play this game. That's over the course of a year. This is over the course of a few weeks. So
yeah.
And I'm not bragging about it because it is a sickness. I never thought I'd be that addicted to a game, but apparently I've found my poison. So, and I go back to that fountain every day and just drink it all down. I am addicted.
Speaking of,
but anyway,
when you were talking about ATS, they just dropped their 9th year anniversary this Sunday.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about that. They're almost done with Route 66 too, so I think
not even 10 years and only 15 maps.
Yeah, how does that work? I don't understand.
Honestly
and I think
wonder if they are waiting to drop Iowa with Missouri. Because
I think so.
They started promoting Louisiana just this morning.
I just saw that earlier. Yeah, they just promoted that one. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. But I'm wondering, honestly, if they really understood how big our country is, even at the scale they model it at. It's still freaking huge. You know?
Yeah.
Don't know if they understood how big this map is. Honestly, I said this almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to be 50 years old before this game. Now, Dazz, I've got to say, I'm going to be 60 when this game is finished.
At this fucking
Because literally, it's taken damn near... Okay, so think about that. That's almost 10 years to get 15 maps.
Yeah.
There are still 30-plus maps. Okay? Because they're only doing 48 states. I don't believe they're going to do... Unless they do Canada, then they could add Alaska. And we don't have anything for Hawaii because there's no land bridge to Hawaii.
Nope.
But my point is that how the heck do you take this long to do a map? And I have said this. I said here's what they need to do. SCS needs to hire people, not hire people, but have people volunteer in the states, in the locations, and get them the research. Because hiring a staff to come out here, to live out here for God knows how many weeks, to get the information, to find all the sweet spots or whatever for the map, takes too long. And they only have, maybe 7, 8 people? You could get like 70, 80 people in America to do this, and you could speed up the process. Then you hire or bring in voluntarily people who make really good models for maps. Like the people that make Coast to Coast. There's a Patreon version that apparently is really, really freaking good.
Yeah.
And it's very filled out. It's very filled. Yes, you obviously have to pay for that one. The free one is kind of lame. Because there's you can tell like there's roads roads not connected. And it's like, how did you screw that up? And so that's what I'm wishing they would do. They will never do it. So I turned 50 this year. I turned 50 in December.
Yeah.
I will be 60 before this game is finished. Okay. So and that's kind of where I've lost my passion for the game because I'm like, I'm never gonna get to see this.
Yeah.
And then I look at people like one of the first guys I ever watched play at least ETS was Squirrel. He used to play ETS2. And he was the
Yeah.
one, that's how I found out about ATS being released, because he talked about it on one of his streams.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a first day purchase of the game. I was like, fantastic. This is long before the company expanded and built a new building, or got to the building, and also before the map upgrade. Small map at the time.
Yeah.
And they resized it and gave us, what's it, Arizona, along with California and Nevada. We had 3 states early on, which is great. But obviously, so I'm aware of all these updates. It's cool. I was a little dubious about some of the bigger updates over the last year, because I was worried about it breaking stuff. Like, not just I don't care if it breaks mods, because I can just remove those easily.
Right.
It's things like controls, because they did do a control update. They did something with the controllers. I don't know what they did, but what it didn't break anything in my settings, so thank God for that, because I don't have to go back and reprogram all that. But I did notice with the new interface, they added like the color-coded Xbox controllers. So like your buttons are all colorized now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
They streamlined the user interface, which I wasn't a fan of at first, but I've kind of grown to like it. I do like the dark gray and black with the gold. I think that looks really good. It's like good eye catching. It's simplified. They cleaned up the home screen, or the title screen looks the same, but the actual main menu is all changed now. It's all vertical text.
It's all
to
that
the left.
2D text.
It is, yeah. It's flat UI, which I'm not
Bleh.
ever been a fan of, but I get it. I get it. Had to have a refresh. They could have done this for the 10th anniversary, though, to be honest. But whatever. But look, SCS has been doing this game forever. I think they actually finished ETS2. I think that map is all done.
ETS2 is technically pretty much done.
Yeah.
If memory.
They might be making
correct.
modifications, like improving it. Like they're probably just making like little changes, like here and
Because-
there. Because they do that once in a while.
Actually, no. Hold on.
Oh, they haven't been. Because I know they did some
have-
reworking of certain, or like early maps. They were redoing
No,
some
they
of
were supposed to drop the, what was it? Let me see if I can find it now. Damn it.
Because I don't think Russia's
They
ever
still
been
have
added
not
to it.
dropped the Nordic Horizons.
Wow, so that's been in the works for a while then.
That's been in the works for a while.
And I wonder if there's been a drop in sales then, like people aren't even playing it anymore.
So the Nordic includes the northern side of the Norway.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
outside
they haven't
of
dropped that because that's also leads towards Russia.
which
if I
I
remember
guarantee they
correctly.
won't go. I don't think
They're
they'll ever
not
do
going
Russia
towards
because
Russia, no.
no, they won't.
They'll
and they
still
won't go
drop the
through
Norway,
Ch-
but I don't think they'll drop Russia.
No, I think
That-
it'll be
that plan
mostly
was
like
scrapped
I
since,
think Russia was scrapped because of the political side of it, and then also you have China will never be. They will never have that done.
No.
China's like blacklist. You won't get I don't think you'll get any in the Middle East either. So I think it's going to be Europe itself.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why it's called
So-
Euro Truck Sim.
Yeah, I get it. But anyway,
I mean, people
Um,
made maps. I've seen it.
Oh,
I
I'm sure
drove
they have.
through
I mean-
freaking Japan map.
yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how they did Japan. I mean, that'd be really interesting.
I did.
See how-
stream it like a while back, but
Okay.
it was pretty cool.
Was it pretty? So they get like a lot of like like downtown like Tokyo area and like
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
subserve nice. Because I mean,
Uh,
look, I've only seen pictures and I've seen video obviously of those areas. I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, although I don't think I want to live there because it would be way too crowded for me. I mean, because it's a very populated area. I mean,
It is.
everybody's like in Tokyo, Nagasaki,
yeah.
things like that. I mean, it'd be great to visit for about 2 seconds, and I'd be like, I need to find my way out of here, and I don't know how to get onto the subway or the train system. The bullets. So, oh, by the way, speaking of trains, one thing I'll say when I hear people say, "Why doesn't the U.S. have more passenger trains?" One, it's cheaper to ship freight by train. Two, do you know how big our country is? It is not cost effective to build a bullet system through our country. It's just not possible. 3, most of the major trains that go through here, which is BNSF, Burlington Northern Santa Fe, CSX, which is mostly the seaboard, the Eastern Seaboard,
Yep.
Union Pacific, etc. They control the frickin' rail. We have one pretty major commuter train called Amtrak, which has been around since the 70s. It's partially government owned and partially private owned.
Yep.
It's been a thing for decades, but it's also very outdated. Now, apparently, they're going to be updating the trains again to, I think, stage 6 now for, like, it's going to be a repaint, probably some new add-ons or whatever for the actual engine. But that's not going to be until 2030 or 2028. So, and Amtrak only has so many. I mean, matter of fact, dude, I wanted to take a train. I would love to do this. I would love to take a train from my state of Minnesota all the way down to Texas. There is no direct route. They have no direct route from Minnesota to Texas. Are you kidding me? I'd have to go through Chicago to go back to Missouri to go to Texas.
Yeah.
How does that work? And yet we have
Amtrak is very outdated. It is.
Yes. Well, because it's, and I think a lot of there's probably some trust issues because we've had a lot of issues with things lately, but that's because tracks are not attended to.
Yeah.
So tracks are going bad, and it's just kind of like our airline, don't you think? God, has that not been a nightmare? Lord.
Right.
But as we weren't going to talk about this, but I might as well bring it up now since I kind of segued into it. But yeah, we had a couple of actually 3 incidences happen almost nearly on top of each other. One involved a passenger aircraft that was in the process of landing. A military helicopter not move out of its way and crashed into it, killing everybody on board, both the helicopter and the airplane. Not a lot of information out there as to what happened. Suspicions about certain things, but I'm not going to start any kind of rumors because I don't know and I do not want to speculate because people died. And that's unfortunately what the media loves to do is they want to focus on the speculation. Well, screw died.
So from what I heard was that the Black Hawk was not on the same frequency with every other fucking plane that was coming in.
They're not supposed to be because they're military. They're not going to be on it. They're not going to be. What the biggest thing also was that there was only one person watching at the control tower. There should be 2, one for the helicopter, one for the plane. That never happened, which means they are understaffed, and they've been understaffed for decades. This is nothing new.
That's true.
Number 2, they're also very underpaid and they're overworked. That's a big problem with our air traffic control. But yeah, you are correct. They may not have been at the same frequency. I never heard that yet, but that's
what I heard.
That's come out
when I was reading it.
It's possible.
A couple days ago.
There's questions if it was a DEI hire. There's questions about was there anything like what kind of or was it nefarious? Was it intentional? But we do not know. We do not know. But it is interesting that, while this is all going on, the media is sitting there bitching about this with Trump and saying, well, it's your fault, and then blaming our transportation secretary, who literally just got hired like a day before. Are you fucking kidding me?
People will
again
do that.
These people, like with every ounce of every hot white burning sun in the universe at 1 billion trillion degrees. It's how much it annoys me that this media is like this. Anyway, the second crash was this one. Now, this one I can't figure out, but this one apparently happened. And it was a medical plane that had a medical jet. It was a Learjet that crashed into almost like a residential area.
Yep. It was
Burst into flames.
residential right near a freaking plaza.
Yes. Yeah, and it killed. One person for sure was killed, and I think there was another one that was injured that died at the hospital. I can't remember. All passengers on board, including a child who had just gone through, I think it was a cancer treatment.
Yep.
Had died, as well as the pilot and I think the parent mom was in the plane as well. Everybody died.
Yeah.
did hear that the plane was registered in Mexico. My initial thought was, okay, we just instituted tariffs against, obviously, theory of the conspiracy type. Not going to divulge on anything else. However, it is interesting how this was back to back because this happened the next.
So
the
like
idea
2 days,
of being
2 days ago.
Oh,
2 days.
it was it was literally the
first
next day from the first. It was the second. It was the next day after the first crash.
Oh,
Bodies of the other one had not been recovered yet, or body parts, because that's what they've been finding now is body parts.
Because I remember during that second crash, I was actually streaming ATS that day.
Okay.
Because
I think I was.
at it.
I was actually watching the news when that happened, like when they had just broken in with that, and they showed like how big the fire was. It was like it spread. It was pretty big, and that you could see all the emergency vehicles on there. It's like, holy shit, are you kidding me again? And so you start thinking, well, is this nefarious? Because you cannot, like, your brain cannot wrap around how this is like how we can like say, okay, this was an accident, or this can't wrap.
Yeah.
Then, just the other day, an Airbus, which is not an American-made plane, it's Rolls-Royce makes it or somebody else makes it, but Airbus had an engine explode, and they were already at 130 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
They had, I think, they were taxiing and had just hit 130 miles an hour before takeoff, and the engine, or at least it exploded into a ball of flame, and they immediately went back and were able to obviously get the people off there. Nobody was killed as far as I know. And it's like, okay, this is the third one now. How is this not looking like there's some bullshit going on? I mean, that's the again, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not making any claims. It's just odd that we have this. But again, if it is an aviation issue where we have issues at the FAA and we're understaffed, we're not paying them well, we only have like a small skeleton crew, that's a real problem. Because now airline travel has already been bad since we've had Boeing planes falling apart in the sky, losing wheels, losing doors, and we're finding out what's causing that, and that is some DIE. And and yes, I cleverly reversed the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And people have lost lives now.
I mean, we did talk about
really
that
sad.
During the previous 4 episodes of 1K Frequency.
Yes, we did. And this was 8 months ago we were talking about this, and all of a sudden now we're seeing it again.
Exactly.
And it's just, I mean, it's interesting. And the fact that we have a new president in this country and new leadership, all of a sudden this shit starts happening. You have to wondering how much of this is, and it could just be really sad, tragic events. That could be what it is.
Yeah.
But I feel more bad for the families that have lost family members because and that's what's important. Getting that message out that these people lost their lives and all they wanted to do was, go on their trip or go home or whatever it was. That's the sad thing. So that pissed me off quite a bit here.
Yeah.
This is why I don't. This is why I don't fly. This is why I have had a terrifying experience. I would like. So we went to an airport when I was 3rd grade. It was our field trip to our international airport.
Okay.
And my heart was just pounding like a freaking bass drum. It was like popping out of my chest, so intense. And the thing is, this is back when it was okay to walk down the chute of doom, if you will, to go onto a plane, and we got to see what it was like to be on a plane. And I was like, my skin was white, pure freaking ghost white. I literally lost all the color in me. I was uncontrollably sobbing. I was a wreck, as I grew up at a time seeing plane crashes on the news. Like when TWA was hijacked, I saw that kind of shit. I saw this one plane actually cartwheel wing over wing cartwheel. And it's like, that screws you up. I'm like, never, ever. And then my mom had, when she went to go visit her sister and her niece and nephew and her brother-in-law in Hawaii, she had to cross an ocean. And that was when I was in 5th grade. So yeah, I've never liked flying. It may be irrational, but I'm scarred from that. And 9/11 certainly did not help.
No.
And then freaking this is now happening. It's like, and Boeing thing happened. It's like, yeah, this is why I don't fly. I don't even want I mean, as much as I want to see my fiance up here, I do not want her flying. I will go down to Texas and pick her up. I will go down and pick her up. I will not let her fly.
Yeah.
Thank God she doesn't really like flying anyway. So anyway, so yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about is just those. It's just really a tragedy. It really is. And I hope that it doesn't come out as something like heuristic or horrible like that.
Yeah.
And we got to get to the bottom of this. And I think this administration will get to the bottom of it. And there will be some deep investigations that probably would have been ignored, much like the derailments in Ohio were ignored. You know.
Yep.
So anyway, other than that, that's it for that little bit. The other happy news that
go
ahead. Sorry,
go
didn't
for
mean to stomp on. No, I was going to move on to our next topic, but go ahead.
Okay, 1 second, guys. We got a quick ID coming up for you guys.
You're listening to DAZZ Radio, home of the 1K Frequency podcast.
Yes, you guys are listening to 1K Frequency right here on Dazz Radio.
Station
I'm your
ID.
host, Dazzle, and we got Mr. Skittlecakes up in the house.
What's going on? This is Skittlecakes, executive producer. An all-around awesome dude. So, anyway, the happy Burple.
Purple?
Anyway. Yeah, I haven't brought him out.
No, you haven't.
I haven't. He's being contained. So he's a happy Burple and a hat. So anyway, the next thing I wanted to chat about was Windows 11 comes out this year. As a guess what, you will upgrade or else. It's interesting how they have done this. I'm trying to do some research on this, and everything comes up that, well, this is a good thing because this makes your computer safe. Oh, idiot.
So they're basically killing the Windows 10 regardless.
Well, Windows 10's been around for 10 years. That's usually their life cycle is 10 years for the operating system.
Yeah, but
if you pay $30 a year, you can continue. Here's the problem. What they're pushing on people is this thing called EPM. What the acronym is, but it's essentially something at the hardware level that adds a layer of security, supposedly. The security is only going to be as good as the people that actually built the underlying infrastructure for said security, which we all know how that's worked out. And the problem with this is that any computer that basically is as old as mine, as old as my fiance's, will not be able to support it. And yes, people have found hacks in the registries to force it to not update. Or if it does take the update, you can turn off the nag, or you can hack it so you can actually upgrade and then turn that off or whatever, so it'll install whatever. Supposedly, you can buy a chip that you can put on the motherboard if you've got the slot on your. Mine does have, and put a TPM. It's basically like a little card into that slot. Supposedly, it'll work. Well, still.
Yeah.
But here's some of the caveats to it. One, it's not guaranteed to work. Two, Microsoft is doing this compulsory, which in my view is very illegal because you can't force somebody to do a thing if they don't want it.
Right.
That is what compulsory is. You are forcing people, and we're looking at just a few years ago what happened to compulsory. 5 years ago we had compulsory. So, and I won't go into what that was, but we all know what it was. It was our dark ages. And I will say that this is stupid. Windows 10 will still work. Problem. Even if
It's
you don't
funny,
take
Skittles.
the updates. Even if you don't
You
take the
mentioned the compulsory thing, right? So let's talk about phone updates for a second. Every
Okay.
time my phone updates, it updates, finishes, blah blah blah, and then it'll install new games onto my phone that I don't want.
Yeah, mine does the
Like,
same thing. I just remove them. There's nothing you can do about that. Because people have paid money to put their games on these apps. It's the same thing when that Microsoft got sued for back in the 90s was basically their browser, Exploder, was forced on everybody's computers. They were negating companies like Netscape, who created Navigator, which was another alternate browser. And even Firefox is not included in the Windows package at all. It's compulsory because they don't want their competition. They got sued for that. It's part of antitrust. Unfortunately, when lawyers are paid very, very well, they can get away with a lot. Yes,
just a
but
heads
yes, that
up,
happens to my
Daz.
phone. And that happens with my phone too.
What's up?
Every time it takes an update, it cancels damn
I'm
games.
looking at the stream and I can't see your face.
That's because I'm tabbed out.
Yep, that'll do it.
That's usually what happens.
And nobody sees my face because nobody wants to see this. Nobody will see the ugly.
And I don't show my face because reasons.
Exactly.
Reasons.
Anonymity is still a thing that I like, even though I have shown my face before. But f you. Anyway, so the whole thing about and here's the thing. It kind of goes back to this, for people who think that their computers will be a lot more secure, you're buying into a fantasy. Windows 10 will still work. Okay? Here's the problem. You're going to be eventually forced out of the world because companies like Steam, Microsoft, Adobe, all these big tech companies are going to make it where your computer will not be able to upgrade to the latest version. Your video games may still work, but you may not be able to update them because it will need certain things that Windows provides to make it run. Now, yes, you do have the ability to switch operating system to Linux. There's the problem with that. While Linux is great, I love Linux. I have my favorites. Linux has been driven by people who are very, Dikosh. Very Dikosh. See, they are the RTFM community. Read the fancy, I say that in quotes, manual. They are the ones who don't want to help you unless you're on the same skill level as them. Number two, if you want the help, RTFM first, which the manuals suck. Then, on top of that, getting your Windows games to sort of play well on this kind of a diminishing return because not every game is suited for this. Yes, I know Steam has the Steam Deck, which is Linux-based, but it's tailored to those games. The games work with that because they have worked on that. But Linux as a standalone may or may not work even with the supposed program called Wine, which is a hook between in technical. Essentially, Linux still does not play nice with games. Why the industry doesn't really build games for Linux? Because unfortunately, Windows has been dominating for decades. For 40 years, they've dominated. And I would love to see Linux dominate for once, but it never will.
Yeah.
And I think the people that have been in the community have scared people into thinking it's go stay with Windows. I don't want to deal with Apple because Apple does not play nice with video. Never have because Apple has been Apple for decades. And while they did move to an Intel-based processor versus custom processors, which they had, people still have issues playing on Apple. And nobody supports Apple computers very much because, unfortunately, Apple is Dikosh. That's Polish. It's It's just how they are, just like micro dollar sign.
Yeah, micro dollars.
I think that's the problem. Windows forcing its update on everybody, and do not memory hold this. They pulled this bullshit with Windows 10. Remember, get Windows 10's little icon. People would turn off their computers. That damn thing was on their computer. The next day, they woke up with Windows 10 on their machine. Never asked for it. That's what's wrong with compulsory. If you did not give them permission, they are forcing you into something that you do not give permission. Now, supposedly there's lawsuits about this right now, but Microsoft has always beaten the rap because that's how they are, because they have lawyers that will lie, steal. As this old saying goes, it's amazing what lawyers can do when you pay them.
Yep.
Saying. But anyway, that's my spiel on Windows. Know that your company radio station just upgraded a couple computers to Windows 11. And to be honest, Windows 11 just sucks in general.
We have,
looks like duck.
I think three or four computers that runs on Windows 11. Some
Out
of
of
them gives
curiosity,
me issues.
Out of
Why?
curiosity, are any of your computers running older software?
I mean, if memory serves correctly, I have about 6 computers still running Windows 7.
I loved Windows 7.
Yes.
Windows 7 to me was a great OS. I remember going. I know. My first computer was a Windows 98 machine. Then I jumped into Windows XP. I skipped over Mistake Edition #1, and that was Millennium. I went to Vista. Vista was I had bought a $1,000 laptop. Money at Ford. I was working in IT.
Yeah.
Bought myself a new laptop. It only had 2 gigs of RAM. At the time, I thought that was fine because it was Windows 11 or I'm sorry, Windows Vista was already built into it. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just buy the laptop. And normally I would build my own, but you can't really build a laptop.
Yeah.
So I bought the laptop. It was like $1,058 at Best Buy. Worst buy. Worst buy. You suck. Get the hell out of Minnesota. You do not belong here anymore. I don't remember as the drive, 120.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was because I bought it for the large screen, so I wanted a 17-inch. I could watch movies on it, and be able to see what I was doing because I have shit eyesight. So, went and bought it, and then Windows Vista was a hog with memory. The operating system alone ate off my memory. And it's not easy to upgrade RAM. They don't make it easy. Now, I probably could have because I'm but still.
Yeah.
Windows Vista sucked. And at this time, now remember too, Windows Vista had been promised for, they were already. So Windows XP was what everybody loved. I loved Windows XP. Actually, I loved Pro. That was like the best version of Windows. Stable. Rarely got a blue screen, and it just did what it was supposed to do. Still was a joke. Windows 7 was a great upgrade from XP. That was a nice. That's what Windows Vista should have been, was Windows 7, because they got rid of all the blue.
Yeah.
There was talk at the time. I know this is a little bit off topic here. There was talk about a new file system. No Windows, they use a registry system. Basically build your entire computer, everything from hardware configuration, software. It's very unstable as you remove programs over time. It can create problems. It can crash the system a lot over time. It's gotten better. It's a lot more as the operating system has gotten better. But at any rate, the issues that I faced. I can feel my blood pressure rising right now.
Poor Skittles.
But But the thing was, they were going to update update the file system. This thing was going to be called WinFS, Windows File System. It was going to get rid of WinNT, or the NT file system, which was based on after XP, and they never did. They still have never done it. So there's still registries. There's bullshit behind it. Why does this matter? Because Windows 11 ain't going to fix shit. You're never going to be more secure. It's still Windows. Everybody goes to Windows. Everybody's a big target for viruses and all that shit. TPM 2.0 will not do shit. It will mitigate a little bit, but it's a lot like paying the mob. You got a nice computer there. It'd be a real shame if something happened to it. Pay us some money and we'll protect you. Not paying it, well, we can't promise you anything safety-wise.
Yeah.
It's like why I don't pay for antivirus. I use Avast for free, although I really should get rid of that because they've had a lot of. And I've been using Avast for over 10 years side, and I will never upgrade. It's Nagware, yeah, but I don't get viruses. I get viruses because I'm smart. I don't open up shit I shouldn't be opening up. No. And anyway, that was a different topic, but so I just wanted to talk about. Yeah, so if you really want to, I think what we need to do is send a message to Microsoft and nobody fucking update.
Yeah.
Don't even bother updating. Just send that message to Microsoft saying, fuck you. We will stay in Windows 10 and you will... Because remember, Windows 10 was the last operating system ever.
Yep.
That was the promise. It was the last one ever. Guess what? You know why it wasn't?
Lies.
Because corporations have contracts that say we must have a new operating system every few years. That's what led this problem. Oh.
It's a lies.
Windows 11 could have been great. But they changed the user interface. It looks like ass.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking the good ass either. They literally were copying the layout of an Apple machine because it's got the centralized taskbar now, which is so dumb. But, it is what it is. I'm not going to upgrade if I can absolutely hold out as long as I possibly can. But October 25th, Windows 10 is no longer going to be supported. You can still run it, but over time, you run the risk. But guess what? This operating system has never been finished and never will be finished, just like everything Windows makes or Microsoft makes. It's never finished.
Yeah.
Hi, Dazzo. How you doing, buddy?
Speaking of our updates, so I got word the other day. We're getting upgrades from the computer tech guy downstairs at the office.
Oh, your IT manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have to fucking sit there and trying to upgrade fucking dirty computers that technically needs a upgrade.
Can you image that? Can you image them?
I can, but I'm not gonna sit there and
that will save you a lot of time if you can image one main computer and then push that over through command line stuff. That is a lot faster than building it one by one.
Because a lot of the computers is running on old CPU, and it needs.
And they're gonna push you to 11, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't know what the guy's plan is gonna be, but it's out of my hands now, and I don't have to fucking focus my fucking mind on that crap. So.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
happy.
I was gonna say, what would be better, doing that computer shit or working outside?
Honestly, I'd rather work outside than stay in the office.
Dude, you were in the wrong industry then, buddy. You should be in construction. Should be going up and putting roofing shingles up.
Oh God, no.
Hey, man, you want muscles? That's how you do it, man. Old school. If I had been like a home builder, I probably would be like a lot more healthy. It wouldn't be a slug, and probably have some decent money and have a nice tan instead of looking like a paste.
Yeah, there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts at this stage.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
Well, it's worse when you get old, man.
Yeah, trust me. I know.
Shit quits working. When shit quits working, it's fun. Yeah, when shit quits working. That should be a title for a new show. When shit quits working.
Oh Lord.
Yep. But anything else on the agenda for yourself?
Yeah,
What else has been going on in Dazz world? I noticed you've sort of been trying to bring back your.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, which I'm sure.
I'm trying.
I'm sure your social blade. I've been curious about your social blade. I haven't looked at it for a long time, but I've got to wonder how bad it dipped. Honestly,
I can tell you right now. I have it opened up.
Do it. Yep.
My hours is currently 527.
I hate seeing
527 public watch hours.
Okay, so what was it prior to you having to diminish your returns?
Before I had that whole work schedule be fucked up. I was over 1,000. I was on my way to 1,500 public watch hours.
Dude, you've lost half your viewers. That sucks.
The public watch hours. I was at 1,500 before I stopped.
I think I'm at 1.
But yeah, 527 is my current one.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what mine is because I don't do anything anymore. I've literally put my channel on hiatus because I want to stream more than I want to record. Period. I would rather stream. And I have more. And look, you already know this, Dazz, and people would be bored to shit, but I don't care. I would stream the hell out of Train.
Of course you would.
I would be streaming the hell out of that game, offering up my own tips and tricks and things that I do and, issues I've run into. Yeah. And I don't care if people, if I get one viewer, I don't care. That game is awesome. And it also is the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
And I will say that I want to stream because it's more fun to stream. And really for me, honestly, multiplayer streaming is a lot more fun.
It is.
And that's part of why I don't really do much of my channel anymore is because multiplayer is more fun. I can't really do the uploads anymore because my internet is so shit and no chance in hell of me ever out of this.
Yeah.
I'd have to move 2 miles into town before I actually get high-speed internet. That's how bad it is. We're talking DSL from the early 2000s.
Not even DSL.
No, it is DSL.
Okay.
It's
sorry.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say the DSL we have. I call it dog shit lines. It is literally that. I mean, dude, 10 megabytes up, not even a megabyte down. I'm sorry, reverse that. 1 megabyte up, 10 megabytes down. Are you kidding me?
Oh man. Yeah.
And they will not upgrade out here. But like I said last time, across the lake, everybody's got gigabit Ethernet because it's new development. And they said, well, we'll upgrade you for $5,000 for the construction fee. And that's not even including the equipment. That's not even including the taxes.
Yeah.
Because it ain't going to be $5,000. That's just an estimate.
Yeah, it'll be 10K after.
Pull one. Yeah. What I need is I need 1K frequency.
There you go.
Even though that's audio.
Exactly.
Even though that's an audio setting. So, but yeah, that's why I don't stream anymore. And I think if people really want to know, that's why I don't. I want to, but I legitimately don't want to spend 7 hours waiting for one video to upload. It's too painful.
It is.
So, and funny enough, it is funny when I upgraded my video card. One thing I did notice is I can actually see videos in 1440.
There you go.
But I can't watch them because it lags my house so bad. And yeah, even then I'm like, I just can't. And that's the other thing too is that when I play trains, my fans spin up so hard because the game runs your computer.
Yeah.
And I thought about taking my panels off my computer, but then it might because of the way the fans work, you lose a lot. But I thought I have a fan I could blow into it if I wanted to.
But
I probably could change. I thought about taking the cooling fan off it and putting new thermal paste on it because I'm sure the thermal paste is probably at the point where it needs to be replaced.
Probably.
I don't know how much that'll help though. But yeah. Oh, by the way, the thing I got was a brand new power supply. My brother got me a 750.
Nice.
So I haven't upgraded it yet though because I need to turn my computer apart in order to run.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that until the spring. I do my spring. That's what I'm doing. So other than that, so your job's pretty much going to be fun the next couple of months, then, isn't it?
Yeah, we still got some minor stuff we gotta do at the office, but
Are you now? Are you officially done at the tower site as
No,
far as the
no.
build?
no.
What's left? Like how much?
The
you guys got
interior
left?
side is what we're gonna be doing next.
Well,
in
no,
the
but the
spring.
technical side is already up, right? Like the technology's there, it's already installed, and it's probably running, right?
Yeah, for the most part, except for our new eventual building that we're gonna move all of our equipment in there. We gotta start.
Which is going to be built on site. That's going to be built on site, right?
It's already technically built. We just gotta do a clean up on the interior, build up the walls for it, and then move all the equipment inside. And that's likely gonna start in March, April, give or take weather. So, yeah,
Well,
eventually the channel
I
will
mean,
likely
well,
take another
yeah.
fucking hit. But that's
I'm
not
just
gonna
waiting
be.
for lightning. Waiting for a big lightning bolt to hit that tower. Say fuck you. 'Cause, that would be your luck. You literally, I mean, I don't know how bad your storms get in Toronto, but I know in Minnesota we get some pretty nasty ones, and it can be interesting.
Well,
We had it. There was one area in '87, no, '7, our first year in the house, and we had torrential rains for over a day and a half, and in the nighttime it was so bad that one of our roads on Normandale Boulevard was as deep as a pickup truck is tall.
oh,
They
dang.
had to rebuild that road obviously because the runoff was just so bad in that area. And we don't
Yeah.
like in Texas, they have like oversized storm drains
Mhm.
because they do get like the torrential downpours, which is pretty fucking
Yeah.
cool. And I'm far enough inland where you don't see the hurricanes; you just get the rain bands from the hurricanes. But it could be interesting. And the floods when they come in, you just watch all this water like go on these giant fucking
Oh,
things or
God.
whatever. It's pretty cool. But where I live, no, they're just like little. It's like smaller than a urinal.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you think that our? And the funny thing is about that storm that ripped through Minnesota. It was called the storm of the century at the time.
Mhm.
The tops of the clouds were 66,000. That's a big fucking storm.
Yeah.
Only spawned 2 tornadoes, and they were small ones. But the thunderheads are what we get. Those are fucking violent.
Oh yeah.
And we're talking cloud to ground lightning strikes, power outages. I mean, I think we were out of power for like 2 days because we lost
Yeah.
a lot of power lines went down.
Yeah. So
All the
when,
explosions.
so when we moved our AM transmitter up to Halton Hills, that area was
Yep.
already hit multiple times with tornadoes. Over like the last
You guys don't get the
10
EF5s, do you? Like,
the last 10, 15 years, there were like a numerous
Yeah.
tornadoes that run up out near that area.
yeah, because you're probably going to get what we get too, man.
Yeah,
You're
we
not
get
you're not technically in Tornado Alley though. Like
no,
we're on the
But
northern
they
half.
do
Of,
spawn
we're on the
over
northern
there.
part of it.
but they do.
Oh
spawn
yeah,
right there.
yeah. I mean, a tornado can spawn anywhere in the world. There's no
Exactly.
question about that. Already been proven. Even areas that never get them can get them if the conditions are correct.
Exactly.
So, and you're in that area, as I've seen pictures of, is kind of surrounded by trees.
True.
Like it's almost like in a wood. It's well, it looked like maybe they're farther off than I thought they were.
So
But where you were taking photographs, that seemed like they were relatively like maybe 100 yards away.
they it's all
football
basically
field.
giant ass farmlands.
Yeah.
So that is perfect for tornadoes to form.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing there to restrict. Well, although a tornado can form
Yeah, they could form anywhere, but
even buildings. I mean, there's. I used to live in St. Paul, and they have these giant bluffs out there. They're like
Yeah.
80, 90 feet up off the Mississippi River, and tornadoes technically can form, but they can't because the drop is so severe that it's actually kind of a safe area if you're like on that part of St. Paul. However, it's happened, but it's rare to
yeah,
get one. So in the open skies area, yeah, one could easily drop. If the I'm sure you guys get the same issues that we've got because you've got mountains to your west,
yeah.
and the cold air hitting the hot air, that'll spawn them
Oh
up
yeah,
if the conditions are right.
oh yeah. There were times where when we were working in the late fall, the winds were fucking crazy.
That's the scary thing too. Like just
Like
pray to
you
God those
think
guy
it was
wires are
like
holding that tower.
yeah. There were times where it was pretty crazy. We were like, okay, let's just finish, wrap it up, and get the fuck out, just in case.
Yeah, and they won't even let you in a bucket truck at that point either.
Yeah.
They're that high. They used to be up there. I know that in this area that I live in now, we're getting wind that can exceed 50 miles an hour, close to hurricane speed.
Yeah.
It's nuts. And
Yeah.
we've got 27 large fucking 50-foot trees in our area. One of these trees goes, our house is gone.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, obviously, you want to be in a big open area so there's no interference. Even though it's an AM transmitter, AM doesn't travel as far as FM does.
Yeah.
However, you still have to have your AM. It's so funny too because everybody went digital in the and they still run AM frequency.
We also went AM and high def as well.
I didn't
So
think
we're
that was
technically-
possible.
You can. You just gotta fudge it. There are ways.
Oh, I cannot imagine the equipment cost would be so cost prohibitive just to because HD FM HD is pretty expensive already. So I cannot imagine because AM is a tinier frequency, and as I recall, and it doesn't have a long distance, and you really
No.
can't boost that far out
No.
per se.
But if
So
you-
I guess I don't know. An AM radio is very much toneless. No bass. There's like only like 1K frequency. That's pretty much all it is.
technically AM is technically used for talk shows. You're technically
we
not
should be-
supposed to even use music in AM.
Yeah.
Just because
Maybe I should do my audio like this, where I'm just completely cut out like this. So there you go.
just go mono.
Welcome to 1K frequency. Just go AM radio 1K frequency.
Just go mono. Forget about it.
Yeah, really. Just go. Yeah. Let's do our show from TikTok.
Oh no. Not TikTok again. So how many
Apparently, actually, there's a company actually in America that's actually a really good conservative company that wants to buy TikTok. They actually have a pretty good bid that could win them the product.
So
which they would clean the shit up for sure.
So how much money does TikTok's gonna need to force over the money?
I don't even know, to be honest. I have no clue. I've never liked TikTok. I never
$100 billion
understood it.
to buy TikTok now.
It's not even worth. It's not even worth it. Why would you want to spend? I mean, honestly, TikTok is just that's a Zoomer thing. That's not my.
Because
deal.
I heard there was a big group of investors that wanted to buy TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I think
So-
it's the Heritage Foundation that wants to buy it. I think it was one of them.
Yeah,
They've got
like
they've got a pretty good bid.
yeah, I don't know.
It's a bunch of people, yeah, but they're very conservative, and everybody on the left hates them because he's
Yeah.
of the left,
Yeah,
and but I won't go to politics because
Yeah, politics or what?
you don't want Skittle being angry. You don't want Burple to be angry. Will not like him if he. But
My
no,
name for TikTok cannot be said on YouTube. Let's just say that.
Oh, of course not.
But funny enough, what is it? What YouTube does? They create the Shorts channel so you can freaking copy TikTok.
Yeah, so now you can upload 3-minute shorts.
Which is not even a short.
Exactly.
I mean, dude, I've been on YouTube long enough to know when 5-minute video was your maximum. This is going back to those days. And that was 20 years ago, I think, when that came out.
Yeah.
So, back when YouTube actually cared about small channels like 1K, which you all should be tuning into and telling everybody that we are awesome.
But yeah,
that's my promo for the night.
But yeah, now you can do 3-minute YouTube shorts, which is not even shorts anymore.
And it'll still take me.
3 minutes is not a fucking short.
No.
No.
And remember,
1
boys
minute
and girls,
is a short.
Remember, boys and girls, 3 minutes equals 1 actual view.
That's probably why they did that too, because people were bitching about they were not getting views. I could get like 1,000 people watching one stupid video that I did, and it was my Dum Dums and Mirror episode. I got over 1,000 views on that, and I never got any credit for that whatsoever. Did not count as a view towards my total views. No. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of making YouTube Shorts if you're not gonna get counted? I mean, honestly, I really did think about making my channel just a bunch of short videos, like just make it a Shorts channel.
You should.
And literally just call it Skittle Shorts.
There it is.
And then put Burple in short.
There it is. Yeah, do it. You should.
I have no desire to go back to that shit. Right, dude, I have to have motivation. And honestly, what do I even do that's entertaining? I don't think I have one fucking video that's even... I am literally one of the biggest ranters and bitchers on frickin' YouTube when it comes to games. Payday 2, I'm looking at you.
We should go back to Payday 2 again.
Fuck you. Eat a giant bag of shut the fuck up. Never again. Well, I have uninstalled that game and I do not miss it. That game is the nemesis of my life. I can't shoot for shit.
What about golf with your friends? You want to go back?
I can do that. I have that still installed. In fact, I got that. I think my fiance bought the game so we could play it together. But she's so into Disney Dreamlight right now. Like, okay, dude, check this out. So she's played that game for over a year and she's amassed more than 1,000 hours. Oh, I surpassed her numbers in 3.5 months. I'm addicted.
Yes, you are.
I'm Hunter Biden crack addicted.
Oh my god.
Thank God that losers. So anyway, but yeah, I will say that I've thought about it, but I'm just gotta be committed to the act. So, by the way, GTA 6.
Nah.
That apparently is only going to console first, and then 2026 is when everybody else gets.
Of course.
Why?
Because it's consoles.
Why? PC is the master race. Consoles were the 90s.
No, it's
consoles
called next gen
the 90s.
consoles.
I don't give a rat's butthole.
They do this every freaking year. Every time
they did this with Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, wait, did they do this to GTA 5 originally? Was console first? Well,
yeah,
fuck Rockstar then.
Because Steam was never a fucking crap. They didn't give a rat's ass about it. Steam wasn't technically popular until 2018.
Yeah, when did
2018 or 2019? This is when they start really getting popular.
I've been part of Steam. According to my thing, I'm at 8 years. I don't know how long it was up before then.
Yeah, Steam was not that popular.
Well, wasn't
And-
Steam? Steam is the because Valve created it. Wasn't Steam designed to release Half-Life?
If I remember,
Or
correctly,
was Steam the result of the success of Half-Life?
I can't remember.
Because the same
It's
company
it's
built.
one or the other.
Yeah, Valve built Steam. Valve made Half-Life. The
It's
series.
one or the other.
Yeah, and that's another game I love playing. But I played Black Mesa on my chain. I thought I could actually do well.
Mm.
I'm terrible. But so I've been noticing one thing you've been playing is I'm curious, are you truly going like full simulation channel? Because I saw you playing Paramedic Life. Are you playing? I know you're playing Andromat. The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got into it. It sounds aight. It's just another fucking sim game.
You think? Then
Dude.
before that it was Recycler Simulator, and then before that was Garbage Truck Simulator.
Yeah, I've been a sim guy for like many years.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, they're fun.
I mean,
but
if the game's
some of them I'm just like, yeah.
if the game runs decent and it's made properly, I'll give it a shot. I don't care whether I stream it or not.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I get that. Out of curiosity, I mean, I've been on the fence about trying the demo for that paramedic simulator.
Speaking
It
of
looks
paramedic sim, that's coming out
really
in 2
cool.
days. Or wait,
I know
2
it
days.
is. Yeah. Yep. And it looks like it's ready for prime time, but and I'm worried about it is it gonna? It's the same developers that brought us the shameful firefighter simulator, the squad, and fucking police simulator.
No.
Now, granted, it's a different publisher.
It's made by different guys.
Devs.
Yeah. It's made by
Okay.
the same guys from damn it, what's the
I thought it
made
was the
by
same people
Nikon.
that did. Okay, so not the same people that did firefighting simulator.
No.
And
That was Aerosoft. Or
I thought
that was
Aerosoft was
Aerosoft.
the publisher. I thought Aerosoft was the publisher. I know they were the devs. No, they were both the devs and the publisher, I think.
I have it up here.
But still, they're like, those games are fun, but they're
No.
so
So the
broken.
publishers by Nikon, the devs are Acer Interactive.
Okay, so maybe that's pretty cool.
So
I would think, but it looks like a very much a police simulator in terms of the layout. Like you could the map especially looks a lot like what that did
yeah.
with the waypoint system. So it looks cool. I might actually try the demo.
So if you guys ever played RoboCop, that's just by the same publisher. RoboCop,
Wow.
Taxi Life is another one.
That wasn't the one you played that one a while ago.
Yeah, I only played that. Like Chef Life is another one. They are devs of Train Life. They got like a bunch of simulators on it.
Yeah.
as
By
well.
the way, what one game that needs to make a comeback? It needs to be a thing, and I hope that the audience is listening.
What game is that?
We all need to get a hashtag going that he needs to bring back baking.
No.
That needs to come back. The hell you went through with those damn cakes is hysterically funny.
You need me to rage again on that thing?
That was some of the best Dazz moments in the history of Dazz moments. Watching you rage because you couldn't get a fucking muffin made.
The
Oh, it
rage.
was awesome. It was so satisfying. It was so satisfying.
Never happen again.
I'm so angry. I won't like him to be angry.
Never happening again.
Yeah, that was probably money not well spent.
No. That was the
I mean,
game.
look. To be honest, I will say it did look like a promising game. It really did. It looked like a lot of fun. But seeing the like things falling up the conveyor belts, or deliver certain things and make certain things because something was broken, I get that. Oh,
Firefighting sim, what is not a bad game. They just lack the urgency to update the game.
and it won't be. It's already the last update was
Yeah,
22. Oh,
yeah,
it's long been shuttered. The developers allowed it they did.
yep.
I think there was a
Unfortunately,
lot, and the AI. Look, the game is not that bad in multiplayer. I loved it when Dazz, myself, and Mikey were playing. That
yep.
shit was, you know.
Although I don't mind playing it again, just because multiplayer was
I
absolute.
think I would, but I have it uninstalled right now. I haven't played it. I really wanted to get a multiplayer going with Into the Flames because that is a fun firefighting simulator.
I'll rebuy
It's a
Into the
lot.
Flames again.
I already bought the game. I bought and a couple of DLCs, but I
I'll
haven't played it in months.
I will
I haven't played it in
rebuy
months.
Into the Flames if you want to go
If
multiplayer.
you want to start it up again, I don't mind.
Okay.
We would have to find some days to work on it and whatever.
Yep.
But but I never but I haven't played it in so long. I know the game is about to come to an end though because the developers building a new one that's
Yeah.
going to focus more on fire station life, which is fine, but it's going to be more centered on VR, which I'm not really sure if there's really a need for our game,
Yeah.
and that's fine. It's his creation, but apparently the new one will be released after. I don't know how much is there. He's done some work on the AI claims. Last time I knew, he worked the trucks and how they drive, so they handle a lot better.
Nice.
Which is cool. Now one thing I did love to do was I love to reskin my truck. I learned how to do it. I could bring my old LSPDFR reskinning police cars into this world because it's the same fucking way of doing it. I was like, and I could do things easier because all you had to do was literally upload it to like Imgur and just take the link, and it was a hot link. That's all you had to do to reskin the truck. You had to do nothing inside the source code. You didn't have to break into it, open for it. You literally just use an Imgur link and hot links right to the truck. It was awesome, and I probably made like 15. I had a lot of fun doing it, but eventually the game got boring. Got boring. I'm like, and I did go into a multiplayer session a long time ago, and I thought it might be kind of a cool thing regularly, but I was never asked back, even though I'd have to relearn the game though because it's a very long time. Never mind. That's the game that'll do it.
I think tomorrow. No, I'm back in time. We should go play some golf with your friends. If anyone's
I'm
down for that.
If anybody wants to play golf with your friends, join us because we will love to have multiplayer.
Speaking of golf with your friends, it's on sale right now on Steam. If anyone wants to pick it up, do it.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't buy any deals.
Well, as long as one of us is hosting, which usually is me, we can.
Because you only can host.
Yeah.
Even though it's Rogers, you have better than I do. I'm sorry, but like I said, there was another Canadian I used to watch on YouTube was Vintage Beef. And
it's just Rogers.
He was on Rogers Internet for so many years. He was in Toronto. He was on Rogers Internet, and he said he rarely, if ever, cussed. But you could tell he fucking hated it because it was so bad. And his tag was good old Rogers Internet. It would just crap out on him every time.
Oh, speaking of golf with your friends, they're gonna make a golf with your friends 2 coming soon, sometime this year.
So that's interesting because how long did it take Golf with Your Friends to come out of early access? Because that game was in Years.
Yeah.
Because I first heard about that game like back in like 13.
Yeah.
And then I saw people playing it in 2015. And
Yeah.
and it didn't come out of early access what, like 2 years. So
It's same like freaking 7 Days to Die. It was gone and
yeah, no, that
freaking
game had a big. I mean, I thought that was going to replace like Minecraft. I really did. But for whatever reason, like you would get like the most popular YouTubers playing it,
Yeah.
and then they would just quit playing it because the game would just fall out of favor
Yeah.
for the next ad. And I don't even. I mean, what's the latest craze right now for video games? What's the latest?
There were a bunch of games that I was looking into.
But yeah, because I mean, because I'm
Sniper Elite Resistance
fuck
just
that
dropped
game.
out.
Fuck that game. I don't care about shmups. I'm not a shmup fan. I'm not a first-person shooter person. Dude, Call of Duty, the very first one that ever came out,
Yeah.
that was the only good one.
I know.
Opinion, and everything was fucking modern. I'm like, fuck that. I want to do fucking. If there's a Call of Duty I want them to make, go back to like the Trojan War. Go to. Can you imagine like that being a thing, like where you're fighting with swords?
Oh god, that'd be fucking
or-
hilarious.
That would be awesome. You know, everything is like
Call
close
of Duty
combat
with
melee.
swords would be funny.
I think that would be a great. I think the other one that would be good too is if they did like the Revolutionary War,
Yeah.
our war against England, where you're doing muzzle loading. But you have bayonets on your gun. Or World War I would be amazing. They never did Vietnam. They never did Korea.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of these other wars. Oh, we gotta go to the Middle East because that's the spot that people want to play. A Sniper Elite is no better.
Sniper Elite is so centered core onto the France era now.
I know nothing about. I know it's a popular.
I bought it. I was playing it.
I know I've seen you play it. I was trying to avoid that topic.
I beat 5 already, so I was like, okay, I'll pick it up.
Well, what the hell's the point then? If you're beating the game, what's the point? Already that good.
Yeah, it was decent.
No? And oh no, wait, you beat the game on easy mode.
No, it was on hard.
And you had cheat codes to get you every fucking powerful gun in the.
I'm not that
And you had
hacker.
tanks. You could spawn in tanks. You freaking used like what was that tool that we used for spawning in shit in GTA 5?
Trainer 5.
What's that tool called? Yeah, Trainer 5. Yeah, you probably had something like that. You know. You had like, it's like Resident Evil, like you use the Game Shark, you get yourself the freaking rocket launcher, and that's basically what Dazz played, was like the rocket launcher. Like, yeah, I'm gonna kick some ass. I got me a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
that's how Dazz rolls.
So tomorrow we'll kick it up with some golf with your friends. If anybody is interested, feel free to shoot me a DM. If you guys want to join up.
That'll be fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Be fun.
And guess what?
Kick back to just have some fun with amazing people.
I've gotten better at not raging.
You sure about that?
Is that too much out of character for me?
Are you sure about that?
I don't know if that's entertaining to people. I get pissed off. Like, I don't know. I will say one thing. One of the funniest things I watched. I've been watching this kind of a lot, but just because it's so funny. A group of guys I've watched. They did this years ago. They played Uno. It's Markiplier.
Oh God, Uno.
My Skins.
Oh no.
My Skins and Lord Minion 777, also known as Markiplier, Bob, and Airplane. There's one episode where in the one of the DLCs you can buy is the Rayman.
Oh God, I remember that.
There's one character.
Jesus.
Her name is Barbara. I should share the video.
I remember
and the
that video.
timestamp where Wade literally that's literally the title. Wade literally explodes. Barbara is his nemesis. Plus 2'd him in the very first room. And it was just a domino effect. And you guys think I don't know if it was just for the entertainment. I don't know if he but well, his blood pressure is probably spiked 400 points.
Hey, Toxic. We should play Uno again.
Yes. Must. He can be our Wade.
Oh,
and we'll even buy the Rayman pack so we can get Barbara.
Oh God. Oh.
That would be amazing.
That
No,
would
Uno,
be cool.
Uno. Actually, the one I really want to try is Uno Flip. That looks really cool. I have to admit, that's a really creative way of playing Uno. You know, but it's interesting. Like I said,
Oh
I've been watching. Like I said, I've been watching. And normally, I don't watch huge ass large channel, but my brother told me that he watched Markiplier.
Who does it?
Yeah, he's pretty fucking. I didn't even know about the guy. I had no clue who this fucker was.
Dazz, was the video you were referring to where you said Wade literally explodes? Is it Wade literally explodes in rage?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm gonna have
and
to.
it's about
looking at
halfway
the video right
through,
now.
I believe. I can't remember the timestamp. It's about halfway through the video. And
the video is 34 minutes 22 seconds long.
Yeah, so I think it's about the halfway. All you do is like pull the bar up or whatever to kind of scan through it, because you can watch the audio track where it spikes really hard. That is typically where he's exploding. I love that feature because you can find all the hot spots. But dude seriously lost his mind, and it's hilarious. and Mark and Bob would just kind of press him some more and just kind of like this more and pick at it and just make, you listen your shit a little bit, you know, buddy. Then he would start lashing out at those guys because he was like so worked up. He's like, "Fuck you all, fuck you, fucker." And you know, one thing that Mark would do is he actually was like, "I wish I could record," because he's got a stream deck and he wanted to like record him saying "fucker." So he had to mimic him, and every time Wade would say "fucker," he'd go "fucker." And Mark recorded it, and just every time he went off, he's like, fucker, this is fucking Barbara's fault. Funniest shit I'd ever heard.
So, Toxic, you down for some golf with your friends tomorrow?
Yeah, man, I'm going to play GTA 5.
Or are you too busy working?
I found that moment you were talking about, Skittles. Looked like it was about 25 minutes, 48 seconds in.
Is that there's multiple points, but there's one where he completely loses his mind. Like he
where
screams
he
like
got the
this
red
death scream.
zero.
Yeah, where everything. Well, that happened a couple times, like the 7 and the 0. All that shit happened a few times. You gotta watch it from the beginning to the. Just watch the progression because it's hysterical. Like watch the rage from the beginning to the end. I don't typically promote his videos because he's a very large YouTube channel, and frankly,
he doesn't need more views.
No, he doesn't need the eyes. He's already got his money. He's got his money. But I find that shit entertaining. Now I actually do watch Distractable.
Yeah,
actually, a pretty funny podcast. Which I wish we were as good as them.
Yeah.
They have a chemistry chemistry. They really do, and it takes a certain type. But what's funny is that how Mark ever got huge. He started playing. I think it was through PewDiePie that he first got his start, but then Jacksepticeye was the other one that he got famous to. I didn't even know who any of these guys were, but apparently, they're big. I'm never going to be that. But that's the funny thing. Mark said that was his goal, was to be a big YouTuber. Now, I don't know if he ever spent money. I have no fucking. to get to 37 million naturally. And I think he's been a YouTuber since like 2013 or 12, something like that.
Yeah.
I've wanted to look at his social blade and just see if he's had any massive spikes with bots.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has.
Because I guarantee that would be in there.
Pretty sure he has somehow, some way.
Yeah. And you would have to think, well, how is that not against terms of service? Because YouTube hates that, or Google hates that.
Yeah,
You're cheating.
well.
But he makes them a shit ton of ad money, so they probably don't care at this point.
Nope.
But yeah, he was going on about this truck he just bought. He bought an electric Ford, I believe. And then Bob was telling him, yeah, you should have bought the Chevy Volt instead because it's a better truck. So Mark was going through buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse.
It must be nice to have that kind of money.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Because it's got to be like probably close to $1 million. I wouldn't want to pay the tax on that.
Yeah.
California's or California. But yeah, just that whole thing with, and actually, Way loses this shit all the time. Like I thought I was. I mean, there's even him playing up with your.
Yep.
Anywho, well, I got nothing else, buddy. You got anything else?
I do have a preview for our next episode.
Ooh, you tell.
Do tell. I believe on the next episode, next Tuesday, we're gonna have Miss Ember Rose come join us in the hot seat as a special guest.
That's Ember Rose.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Ember Rose will be joining us on the next episode of 1K Frequency.
You know, and I guess we did negate to tell people that we're kind of going back to our old format.
Yeah.
Like Dazzle and Friends and Dazzle Nation. We kind of sort of negated to talk about that. We tried the 1K Frequency, kind of the,
on the news topic
daily
side of
news
things,
type of shit. But it was like, meh, we're gamers. We know game. Like, it's more entertaining, and people get the news everywhere else. They don't need us babbling about it. We can talk about some things, but frankly,
yeah.
Eh.
News, meh.
Oh, I did find out something. Unrelated topic, but kind of a topic. Yeah. So most people know that I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of The Warning. Their guitar player, Daniela, just got gifted a guitar from one of her heroes, Orianthe.
Oh.
And it is a $14,000 piece gifted on stage.
Damn.
She's been gifted. This is her third guitar being gifted. The first one was a Gibson Explorer from Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm. Second was Monson from Matt Bellamy of Muse. That's their biggest idol. Their personal idol. PRS. Now, she's a PRS signature series artist. So to have this new guitar is pretty. It's also the first guitar that's got a full-on tremolo system, so she can. I hope that she starts adding semi dives, like the great old Dimebag Daryl used to do back in the day. But that was pretty cool. And she's only 25. Dude, you've made it as a musician when you're gifted guitars.
Yeah.
That would be fucking awesome. And so, yeah, that's huge. I mean, for me as a musician, that's pretty spectacular. But $14,000 guitar.
Insane.
I don't know how that's possible. I mean, yes, it's a cost up. I have yet to figure out what, and I used to want to build guitars, and I started to do that luthier stuff, but I don't have the material or the money to do it.
Yeah.
I cannot figure out where that comes in, because wood is not that expensive. Is it is it perceived value? I don't know. Or is it because it belonged to her? But that's pretty cool. I am a bit jealous.
Of course you are.
You know, I was never a signature bar player ever, or bass player ever. That would have been cool to get endorsed or to be an endorsee, but never happened. I was never famous. I was nothing more than in garage bands. Closest I came, we were like our first gigs were going to be in Europe, which would have been pretty fucking cool because we were the band I was in was actually in Europe, which would have. I was literally in the band for. Oh yeah. Even though I don't fly, I would have swam.
You would have swam.
I would have swam. I'll be like, look, I'll leave about a month in advance, guys. I'll be out there in a month.
No, you'll probably be eaten
maybe
by fucking sharks.
That's not unheard of. You're not wrong.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Sharks come circling, don't say anything. Great lyric, by the way. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to mention that because that just popped in my head. And so, but I'm jealous. I would love a guitar like that, but I don't play guitar. I play bass, but that would be like something I'd put on my wall. That's like wall art. Like I'd actually frame it and like and glass. Yeah. I mean, with a $14,000 guitar, don't dare do that. Damage that. I'm sure PRS would fix it for her, no problem. But then there's also probably road rash on it anyway because Orianthi did play it live. Yeah. So this was actually literally the guitar off her back. Here you go, Danny. So, and I think this is right after they had played Back in Black.
Yeah. So.
But anyway, and they're playing Canada this year, by the way. You should go see them. Playing in Toronto.
Maybe.
Yeah. Their tickets are actually pretty affordable. Their tickets are like $34.
I'll have to look into this.
Very inexpensive. Yes. I don't know. They're going to be in Europe for most of the winter months and spring.
Yeah.
I think late spring they're going to be in Canada again, and they're going to do the North American tour or the American tour. So, and I haven't gone to their show yet. I need to go.
You should.
I need to have the same vibe I got when I saw Dream Theater. And that's literally rock as hard as I possibly can, sweat buckets of water out of my body, go have dinner, and then puke right after. Best night of my life. I saw 4 bands that night. I saw 3 between the Buried in Me, Opeth, and Dream Theater. I was there for Dream Theater, they were the closer, and oh yeah. And I got a really cool, awesome gesture from John Petrucci. Saw me, and I was like, yes.
There you have it.
He doesn't know who the fuck I am. I know who he is. I see you, John. I just did like the eye motion,
Oh God.
That whole thing. And like, who saw that?
All right, guys. Well, that is going to be it for this episode.
I'd like to direct your attention to Ethan's question in the chat just really quickly.
Oh, I saw that. I would have to get back to him privately.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I saw that.
So anyway, yes, we are back. We're gonna try to make this our. Are we gonna do this weekly again, or are we gonna go every couple of weeks? I don't really, or monthly. I don't even know.
We're gonna try every weekly. Just because I want
every Tuesday.
Yeah, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here on the channel.
Cool, and that's 6 o'clock Central for us normies.
But yeah, join us next week, Tuesday night as always, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m.
With special guest Ember Rose.
Yes.
In the hot seat.
She will be on the hot seat as the special guest. So it's going to be cool. Yep. You have to tune in.
And by the way, and also be a pal. Go sub her channel. Make sure you hit likes and subscribe to her channel. Help her channel to grow. That's what you need to do.
Exactly. But that
And
is
with
it
that-
for this episode and this amazing live stream.
Everybody.
1K Frequency, Dazz Radio. I am your host, Dazz. We got Mr.
I'm your
Skittle
Psycho
Kicks,
Skittle.
and we got the
And
amazing
hi, I just work
Assassin
here.
Phoenix.
I just work here.
Yeah, he's ass Phoenix. He's a double
Oh my
ass.
God.
He joined
He's
Mikey
ass-
in the security role.
Well, then we've been upgraded then. Love you, Mikey.
Mikey's too busy
Oh
working.
boy.
Homo.
Hey, I'm still happy to help though, of course.
Of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
We love you being here. So
Yeah, exactly.
that is it for this one. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming out to the stream. And come back tomorrow right here on the channel. We are going to be playing Golf with Your Friends. See you all
Should be
tomorrow.
fun.
Okay.
Later,
Bye,
all.
everybody.
Bye, everyone. We off the air?